Good morning. I'm Jen Amos at Weiss Research.
I'm Andy Myers, and this is your morning market alert for Wednesday, November 17th. Stock futures are pointing to a slightly higher open following data on inflation and the housing market. Consumer prices rose just 0.2% in October, and core inflation at the retail level was unchanged. This follows a similar report on producer prices, which also came in weaker than expected. Meanwhile, housing starts fell by nearly 12% last month to their lowest level in 18 months, showing continued weakness in the real estate sector. Following the disappointing news, treasuries are rising and the dollar is losing ground against other major currencies.
Concerns about Chinese inflation continue to weigh on stocks across Asia. Investors are speculating that China will raise interest rates after food prices there jumped 10% last month to their highest level in more than 2 years. The Shanghai Composite fell another 2% overnight, pulling other Asian markets down with it. In Europe, stocks traded in a narrow range as investors continue to monitor the situation in Ireland. Eurozone officials are trying to get the Irish government to accept a bailout package for the country's troubled banking sector.
In corporate news, General Motors boosted the number of shares it will sell in its initial public offering by more than 30%. Yesterday, GM increased the estimated price of the shares to a range of $32 to $33. The moves reflect strong investor demand for the offering, now that the automaker is showing good profits. If the IPO goes off as planned, it could be the biggest public offering in history at nearly $23 billion. We're seeing strength throughout the auto industry this morning. Ford shares are rising more than 1% after UBS said its earnings per share in 2013 could reach double the current estimates.
A couple big retailers reported strong earnings today. Target's third quarter profit rose 23% on sales of more than $15 billion. The discounter also predicted that its sales in the current quarter will be the best in the past 3 years. Shares of Target are gaining 1.5% on the news. BJ's Wholesale Club topped estimates as well, with a 32% jump in its quarterly profit. BJ's also raised its profit forecast for the full year. And in the pharmaceutical sector, shares of GlaxoSmithKline and Human Genome Sciences are both on the rise. A Food and Drug Administration panel backed approval of a new lupus drug jointly developed by the two companies.
Keep an eye on shares of Honeywell International this morning. Right now, they're rising more than 1% following an upgrade by RBC Capital Markets. RBC now rates Honeywell an outperform, saying its stock has been undervalued relative to its peers. In other analyst actions, Goldman Sachs is weighing in on the railroad industry. It upgraded CSX to neutral and cut its rating on Norfolk Southern to sell. Shares of Norfolk Southern are dropping more than 1% on the news. Advanced Micro Devices is also losing ground in the pre-market after a downgrade by JMP Securities. And glassmaker Corning may open sharply to the downside. Oppenheimer cut its rating on the stock from outperform to market perform.
That's the latest from Weiss Research. Have a great trading day.